Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And we are underway from Cincinnati. Brandon Wilson now from his end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Here are the Bengals on offense, and here is Joe Burrow ready to lead them at quarterback.
Hey, we all love a good story, and what we like even more, guys who can fight through adversity. Joe Burrow coming out of high school, goes to Ohio State, doesn't get a chance to start, transfers to LSU, not thought to be a top prospect, ends up the #1 pick in the draft, and justifies it. Tremendous play, excellent mobility, and leadership off the charts.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And he'll spot Higgins open left side. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And this is going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
The Bengals bring out their punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. And taken right on the 30. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the Ravens on offense, and the man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 40. Jackson's throw caught there by Wallace. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And a good burst there right from the start as he'll get this one out near the 35. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on 1st down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they've got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. That one complete to Prochet. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 20-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On 3rd down, Jackson. That's complete, left side to Bateman. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. Tucker's kick is good. And the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. So the opening drive does yield points. Maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their 2nd drive. And the first drive, 3 and out. 2nd possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Able to find Higgins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the... ...40-yard line. Burrow on play action. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter, it's a good running back dive play.
And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
From the red zone now, here's Burrow, 1st down. And this one nearly picked off. Yeah, kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down. Again, it's Burrow on 2nd and 10. This is caught. Touchdown, Bengals. It's T. Higgins with a touchdown pass from Joe Burrow. And the Bengals have taken the lead.
All drives that result in points hurt a defense, but when they are the sustained variety, play after play, and they just can't get off the field and stop them, that can be demoralizing.
Evan McPherson for the extra point. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. On the return is Duvernay. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll go option on second down, right side. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's third down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on third down. Here's Jackson to throw. And that is incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on third down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
On is the punter Cook, who sends it away. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
On second down and 4, Burrow. He's going to loft one deep left side here. A leap, and he's got it. He got it. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. A big play there for Cincinnati.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Here's Burrow. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And the Ravens are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Jackson. Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete. So the pitch and catch good for 11. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Losing 4 yards that time. And now it's 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They've got the lead, and certainly a big reason why some of these catches we take a look at right now.
And I've seen it so many times that when units start to play really well, they feed off of each other and play even better. And they're making every catch possible. Contested, non-contested, easy, difficult, big-time plays. And right now, that's why their team's in the lead.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Back to Mixon on 2nd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Burrow going to fake to Mixon and now look to throw. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. A handoff to Mixon. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now it's Burrow. Open man is Chase, complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Burrow looking to pass. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. 4th and goal, and down by a touchdown. The offense stays on the field. 4th down. Here's Joe Burrow. Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it. And he's taken down inside the 30. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the 1st down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big.
Touchdown! That's caught at the 2. Irv Smith Jr. from 21 yards away. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like, based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
McPherson now for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it ends with a Bengals score. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game. Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
They go play action now. Jackson. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, but he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now they try the right side here. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage. And now 3rd and 11 coming up. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. And not enough on the throw that time as that one is incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. And out now, here come the Bengals. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. I think that's Mack who's still down. Yeah, it is. Mack apparently shaken up there. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Now on 2nd and 13. Burrow escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. A big play that time through the air. 35 yards. That was a fantastic job of keeping that play alive. And he had a chance to tuck it. I thought he might.
They work on those situations all the time. This is coached. Being able to keep your eyes downfield, keep the play alive, and not automatically run with the football. How about that lesson absorbed, and it turned into a big play?
Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. He's going to let it go again. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So a costly penalty yardage-wise, as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag. That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Second down and goal. Burrow, that's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. A 3-yard touchdown pass, and the Bengals add on to their lead. So 3 drives, 3 touchdowns, and they're a PAT from going up 21-3.
And there's no doubt in my mind, you're liking what you're seeing so far, aren't you?
It's been unbelievable. Like a well-oiled machine, if you will.
What's really tough, though, that defense, they're leaping the shadows at this point. They don't know which way to go. They're being hit in every direction, and they have no answers thus far.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. No run back here for Duvernay. Touchback out to the 25. The Ravens offense back out there. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts, as he'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Throwing left side, it's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw is on target to Duvernay. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. To throw again is Jackson. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. 2nd and 10. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson. And that one going to be off target and incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good, and that'll get the deficit down to 15. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
From his end zone, Wilson. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Final play of the half for Burrow and company. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. His 3 touchdown passes have his guys out in front as we hand things back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the third quarter. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. The Raven offense set to start this third quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. That's into the hands of Prochet. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Jackson, option right. He'll get 5 out of the keeper, but now it's 3rd down. Now that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That's going to be brought in by Higgins. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big connection on that one. 34 yards. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. From the gun, a give to Mixon. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Now Burrow. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Got a man open. It's Chase. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Now it's Burrow. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup. Coming up on 2nd and 7. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. He will find his man Chase complete. Touchdown, Bengals. Jamar Chase. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals, they widen their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Play action. It's Jackson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. So 2nd and 10, third quarter. Thanks for tagging along with us here from the Queen City of Cincinnati. Now it's Jackson. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And a nice job there defensively to contain him and get him to the ground a few yards short of the first down marker. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 41 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
Mixon with a first down carry. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. 3 quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll get it down here to the 43.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Burrow will throw. It's caught. Smith. The ball comes out. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you've got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
On the throw led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Jackson. That's complete to his receiver, Bateman. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Throwing is Jackson. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Well, offensively, Charles, hard to put a silver lining on this one. No secret that they had to take chances with a score where it is, and it leads to a turnover.
I love how you paint the picture, partner, because you're exactly right about that one. Look at the empty stairs on that sideline. This is one of those games where you just want to go crawl under a rock until it's over.
He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's a give to Mixon. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, You have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And the Bengals on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Told you to do that.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. They'll look to throw here. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you could put yourself in jeopardy.
And now again, the play clock's going to run out on him. That's going to set him back 5 yards. And boy, again, they won't get this off in time. And that'll set them back 5. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll try and throw forward with Burrow. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. And incomplete on the deep ball. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed. It's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 46. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
Well, so much for bluffing the defensive line into thinking that they were going to be able to get to the quarterback. Instead, they sniffed out the screen pass and made a really nice play for lost yardage.
So still 14 yards to go, 2nd down. Jackson. He'll find Dobbins out of the backfield. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
The Ravens on 3rd down. It has been a disaster. 0 for 8 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements. Okay, you and I are sitting up here getting ready to analyze whether they should go for it or not. Did you see the quarterback just point to the sideline and say, everybody back, I've got this call?
Well, you knew this side of the field, they're in plus territory, 4th and 1. He wasn't coming off the field.
No, he wasn't coming off the field, and he wasn't letting the offense go with him at all. He said, we're staying out here, and we're picking this one up. That's some leadership right there.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Jackson. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
And he'll wind up getting about 6 out of that, as that's going to lead us to the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. That's for Bateman, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Bengals will take over here at their own 12-yard line. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They try to eat some clock with Mixon. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, let's face it, that's just a helpless feeling for a running back there. He's looking up to find a hole, and all he finds is a whole lot of ticked-off linebacker.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. 72 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. On 3rd down, Mixon. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The Bengals bring out their punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Bengals as we say so long from Cincinnati.